afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, host Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero Site Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to an exciting 1 vs 1 on Crossroads. Picture the setting. It's France 1944. The Germans are falling a bit back here after initial successes by the Americans in the Bocage. Posting in the north, we got Momo4sho fighting for Germany, Deutschland. Fighting here for the... I don't know. First SS Panzerdivision, a Leibstandarte versus in the south. We got TwistedTootsy fighting for America, freedom, democracy. The first armored here with mechanized. Good golly, Miss Molly. With Luftwaffe, special operations and fortifications here for Momo. With the medical supplies, Panzer IV and Jagdpanzer bulletins. Hello as well. But you generally don't get to see a lot of mechanized company start. So this is already catching my attention. Double full here versus double re-echelons. That is definitely not the usual stuff. But there you go. TwistedTootsy's little power play here is the Dodge truck, which rifling in it can be a bit of a tricky thing here for the Orbital Commercial to deal with early in, unless they either get out very quick like heading there for a lot of Sturmpanzer here to shoot it to bits with assault rifles. The Volksgrenadiers do not fight this very efficiently. Also note the way Momo4sho bring about, they're certainly rather overextended and leaves them in fact more vulnerable to a Dodge truck hit. So this is quite interesting, and it's certainly an interesting situation Momo's managed to land himself in the early game. More Volksgrenadiers on the way there. Dodge truck there should be spotted, but looks like he might not quite reacted to it. Either way, moving ahead here, trashing through the terrain, going straight for the Sturmpanzers, which is actually not the best spot to deal with, because the Sturmpanzers do have sufficient firepower to actually hurt a Dodge truck, which again, if like it'd gone for more than one, it had gone for more than one, it'd definitely dealt with. But there you go, pops out into the open, now engage the Sturmpanzers up close with the vehicle crew and the riflemen, completely turning the tables that way around. Sharp move there by TwistedTootsy, completely just turning the battle around there on Momo4sho, just flipping the table and wiping the Sturmpanzers. Wow, that it's almost like he planned to do that, just thinking, lulling him into false sense of security. Yeah, we're doing this, and then all of a sudden, extra firepower in the form of the vehicle crew with their grease guns, completely trashing Momo's expectations, forcing them that way to suddenly have to retreat, and even then before something a lot more damage. That was brutal there. That was brutal. And has really just think thrown off Momo4sho's early game, since the loss with Sturmpanzer squad that quickly without getting a single kill. I mean, he barely did any damage, and all the damage went to the Dodge truck. That is just huge. I mean, that's 300 manpower versus no manpower whatsoever for TwistedTootsy. That is just tactical excellence. Nice adding the 50 caliber as well. I mean, Momo is in a bad spot, and TwistedTootsy is just riding it. They're heading there for their down note. Volksgrenadiers guy in the car fight, but can actually do anything. That's the thing, they can't really. Particularly once the 50 guy being added, he has to base his stall and somehow hope he can destroy it, and there you go. It's just constantly pushing around the Volksgrenadiers, so they can barely shoot. McKenna setting up there, and there you go, pops out, shoots, almost getting the Dodge truck there, and he gets it. Small victory there for Momo4sho. And just when it got the 50 caliber as well there, so that ended up being a bit of waste of munitions there for TwistedTootsy. But even then, I'm pretty sure he still basically lost less than Momo4sho's Sturmpanzer squad. And then, of course, he's still occupying the car point. And Momo4sho still barely got anything. I mean, even there, the Dodge. And now he's going for aggressive fighting position. My God, TwistedTootsy is twisted. I don't know if he's a Tootsie. Got grenades off there. We got the truck out here just to think to secure more with the trucks. More than thing. Got grenades up as well here for. No, that's the rifle grenade actually from the fighting position. You rarely see those, but when utilized aggressively, they can be a real pain in the ass. Now setting up a 50 caliber just to ruin Momo's stay more. My God, this is absolutely fiendish. Absolutely fiendish play here by TwistedTootsy. I am amazed and impressed. Though I will admit, if I was in Momo's shoes, I'd probably saying a lot of other things, but from a spectator's position, this is amazing. But I'm sure Momo4sho might not be quite feeling as impressed. So it's reinforcing. Schwer Wehrmacht level needs to set up. We're getting down to 5 from the advancing Germans. I mean, he lost the fighting position this time, and I think he was able to ensure he didn't lose the munitions. He's taken up already. He's going for the half-track, and he's still denying Momo4sho a ton of resources. I mean, the only thing he's going to get is like 5 fuel, and that's not really going to cover the the massive gap here that TwistedTootsy just causing his economy. So I imagine there's going to be a battle group headquarters up here for Momo. TwistedTootsy is going to, well, go for the anti-aircraft tactic, just try to stall more, and then others I think just rush out the 76mm Sherman at some point. But good God, that opening. That is just a straight up nightmare. So, well played there by TwistedTootsy. Well played, aggressively played, and just viciously played. My God, those Americans, yeah, they're nuts. Return firing up in the Sturmpioneer, more rifling up here. Skirmishing developing here, and he's going to threaten the fuel point name there. So I think Momo's going to try and turn the favour here to TwistedTootsy, though I don't think it's going to be quite as effective as doing the Sturm Punch, but they're losing out. I mean, at this range, they just don't stand a chance. I mean, he should just retreat to try to get them closer to Simon. The problem is he can't, so he's better off retreating here, because right now, like, the Sturm Pioneers are doing next to no damage. They are really bad at this range. They're sort of short mid-range. That's long range. Good in the half-track, though, forcing it back, but it's going to mean the cuff Pioneer is basically sort of reasonably secured there for TwistedTootsy. Sturm Pioneers finally falling back. Would be a waste there for Momo4sho, I think, to suffer any further losses in that regard. We'll have to see what he ends up doctrinally. I mean, none of the doctrine there could sort of really help him. I suppose fortifications could allow him to get up some anti-tank weapons of a higher order and stall with other elements. Though theoretically, Luftwaffe with some elite infantry might allow him to be a bit more aggressive, try to push a counterattack against TwistedTootsy here. We'll see what it ends up with. More tough attacks also now available for TwistedTootsy, but he's planning, say, it's Sherman Rush. He's probably not going to go for it. Also, currently in the sort of, shall we say, force competition Momo4sho has. More tough attacks. While still good, wouldn't necessarily be that good. He might actually end up just, again, going for this. I think required for Momo4sho to at least have a couple of machine guns to really be worth it. Machine guns wouldn't be a bad thing for Momo right now, versus all this infantry that TwistedTootsy's got. Though technically it's not even that much. It's just the way that TwistedTootsy is wielding it so aggressively. And there you go, Momo's going for the flak half-track. Helps with the anti-aircraft tactic, of course, help with the infantry. Of course, it is a fuel investment, and he's still far behind. And TwistedTootsy is racing ahead. And in particular on a map like Crossroads, he's really racing ahead. Though at the same time, Momo's actually not too far behind. Again, due to the way the map sort of works in size, it's got more points than any other map. Meaning, well, 1v1 map, meaning I'll basically get more resources no matter what. So at least he can hold a decent part of it. He's still going to actually be not too far behind in some ways, though TwistedTootsy is still getting a bunch more. Flak half-track, those almost done. Fuel catches up here. I mean, Twisted is clearly going to rush ahead there for Shermans, I think. He's clearly going to rush ahead. I mean, he's basically got the long end of the stick, and he's basically trying to make it even longer. But how you do that, I'm not entirely sure. Flak half-track there, done. 251.17, and we... Oh, he's going for a regular half-track. My God. What is going on in this madman's head? This is mechanized infantry tactics. I mean, I'm definitely liking it. It's great to see someone actually going this as the Americans even, but I mean, TwistedTootsy, I mean, he might as well be from, you know, beyond the outer spheres, from beyond the stars. I mean, he's utterly alien to me. Utterly alien. But he's amazing, but still utterly alien. I simply cannot fathom it. It's like something straight out of Lovecraft. An American player who's playing a, you know, rather offbeat doctrine, and he's using mechanized infantry tactics. The mountains of madness. Anyway, saying straight for the fuel point there. Troops reinforcing healing. More Volksgun. That's actually a machine gun here for Momo, for the fatherland. Schnell, Ludwig, we need some Maschinengewehr. Up there, by the house. What house? It's the one behind the hedgerows. There you go, going in aggressively there. Momo is basically just trying to place aggressive spot, you know, force TwistedTootsy on the defense, but maybe, you know, somehow swing the game around. Flak half-track doing heavy damage to the anti-aircraft half-track, but the half-track is doing heavy damage to the other half-track. My God, so many half-tracks. And we got the assault units moving up. Half-track here is filled with rearsen's with bazookas, and he's got a third... Oh, he's got another rearsen in it as well. Oh. What's driving it? I guess it's a third rear-echelon squad he's actually got just to drive it. So that's basically the rear-echelon truck. The bazooka train. And he's just going in there again. He's just completely throwing off Momo. I imagine he's just shocked. My God, these Americans. What is he doing? That's our trick. Scheiße. They're learning. I thought the Führer said they're too thick to learn. Too much lead in the water. All the way, half-track falling back, having knocked out Momo's half-track again, barely suffering any damage. Fixing up both half-tracks. He's got 2 half-tracks, and he's using mechanized infantry tactics. I'm in utter shock and disbelief, yet amazed at the same time. No Academy out here for Momo4sho. Ambulance on the way there. I mean, at this rate, I wouldn't be surprised if he just drove around infantry as well. I mean, but we'll see what ends up with. Momo, though, is actually fighting back. He's still getting control here. He does have more infantry, which does allow him some strength, but again, against all of these vehicles and all the aggression here, it's still going to be not treason there. He might actually get the half-track. He might just get it. Then again, the half-track's getting away there. Rierson's moving up. A lot of bazookas moving up. They're getting hit by the half-track. Oh, he's going to get off a Panther first. Pops out. Saves the crew and the passengers. M3 half-track is a smouldering wreck. Testament to Momo's determination to defend the fatherland to the last bullet, the last man. Full of that being pushed back, machine gun there hammering away, suppressing infantry nearby the academy after number 2 moving in. Momo could theoretically soon begin taking up. As for TwistedTootsy, he should be taking up if he isn't already, though. There we go, getting good here on the half track. Troops being suppressed here. And we got to push up the western side with 2 infantry squads there for TwistedTootsy. 3 re-echelons, 1 assault, you need 2 riflemen and the lieutenant. Medics on the way there for Momo4sho. That does delay the trap hunted quarters by a bit. They're not too much either. And we got spec ups there for Momo4sho. Possibly an indication here that he's figuring he is not going to be able to take up safely. He's going to have to rely on the command panther to spin this around. Maybe. It's a bit hard to say exactly what Momo4sho is thinking of versus TwistedTootsy's. And again, TwistedTootsy's tactics and strategy are, again, very foreign. Alien. Possibly even slightly perverse. Oh, we have to ring about that. Half-tack opening up the Sturmpioneer. Academy opening up in the half-tack, pushing it away. Buying some time there for Momo and for the 1st SS Panzerdivision of North overwhelming the rifle in there with assault rifle fire and otherwise stark determination to push the Yankees back into the sea. Fighting here could probably pop a grenade assault then maybe. They'd have to do it with the larger squad rather than one that's about to get murdered there by TwistedTootsy's men. And we got the major out there. Tech wise he's not too far off. So he'll soon begin to be able to push out 76mm Shermans here versus Momo4sho. As for what Momo4sho ends up with, it's harder to say. Again, he could take up, but I mean at this stage actually trying to play for the command panther would be very, very silly. I mean, he's only, like, he's 6 command points away from that. He's more likely to be able to get out something there with tech, to be honest. I'm trying to go for the command panther safely. I mean, at the same time, TwistedTootsy like and hammer him just down with Sherman. He's going for the regular one first, not the 76mm Sherman. Of course, in the current situation, there's more infantry and tank weapons. A regular Sherman with, say, the bulldozer upgrade would probably be better since it can soak up more damage and also fight the infantry more efficiently. Plus, I mean, it's cheaper. Quick Panther fast off here, but he doesn't quite have means here to finish off the anti-aircraft half-track. TwistedTootsy's attacking across the entire front here, putting intense pressure on Momo4sho. And we got mines being laid down here to catch up any armor vehicles that Momo4sho might be trying to toss at TwistedTootsy. Still no tech up there for Momo4sho. Still no tech up. It really should get the spare punted quarters out, I think. I mean, some orbital Latin could also help him out here versus some all of TwistedTootsy's infantry. And there we go, Sherman out. Can add both the bulldozer and the 50 cal machine gun or the dozer blade. We shall see what it ends up with. we shall see what it ends up with. Pearson's just pushing up through the center here. And there you go, adding the dozer blade and the 50 cal machine gun. High explosive shells being straight to as well. Kedem trying to deal with the half-tech machine gun, trying to stop infantry as well. Instead, the armor piercing rounds could maybe help a bit. Fultz meant to defend the cuff point. Half-tech missed. And in these two, we got the Sherman engaging here. The Fultz Grenadiers in there trying to secure the fuel there, away from TwistedTootsy. Half-track pushed away, but suffering next to no damage. And no incendiary armor piercing rounds there from Momo4sho's machine and give our crew. And he's going for a third Academy effort. This could very well indicate he's trying to stall here for the Command Panther, but again, I'm not entirely convinced that's the best move right now. I mean, I think taking up would just be fast and then pushing out this regular tank. But I suppose you can always just back tech after this guy, tech up after the Panther's out. First they're being engaged with a half-track, halfway to veteran feet already. TwistedTootsy just keeps up his unrelenting assault here versus Momo4sho. No mercy, no respite, and there you go. Dozer blade up on the Sherman, 50 cal being added. It now is tougher overall. And he's going to attack into Momo4sho. Oh! No! What? The cheeky bastard! The cheeky madman! He's trying to close off the entrance to Momo4sho's base! He was basically setting up a barrier to lock Momo out there, forcing him to go through there. The absolute madman slash genius. Good God. He makes Red Wings look like an amateur at this stage. Anyways, moving up the center of the lieutenant, the rifle, not west side here, troops being secured. Rifle lieutenant up in the Raketenwerfer. TwistedTootsy just keeping up the pressure as Momo, again, who seems very, very determined to go for the Command Panther. But again, the rate resources are going again, he'd be better off just taking and going for a regular Panther for Panther instead of trying to stall for the Command Panther. At least that's my opinion. Got Fultz moving up, the pushing back, the lieutenant pushing up here the west side with the half train again. He probably could benefit from like a deeper flank around him, sort of trying to swing behind him for his front line. But as I said, he's definitely got some interesting plans going on there. And they're engaging the Fultz Grenadiers. High explosive round, 50 cal and just 30 cal machine guns, just hammering away at the Huns, the Krauts, obliterating Germans left, right, and possibly centre, if it can hit. There we go, good hit. Mine goes off as well, killing several Fultz Grenadiers in the process. But there you go, Academy is getting hits on the Sherman in the west, fighting for the fuel point there. Denying it to Momo4sho back here, healing the enforcement as TwistedTootsy and the first armor pass from next assault against the first SS Panzer Division, which is certainly struggling in the current highly aggressive and highly mobile environment here the TwistedTootsy is so far operating. Note he did actually get the fuel cache down there, slowing down TwistedTootsy's economy a bit. Going for the 76mm Sherman, which definitely would necessitate a Panther of either type there from Momo4sho, either a regular one or a Command Panther, since a regular Panther force is going to struggle there versus the 76, particularly when supported with a regular Sherman as well. Again, they're trying to get the half track, but it's not quite working out. But yeah, Momo4sho is utterly obsessed with the Command Panther. Of they're being overwhelmed. Or the rifle being overwhelmed by the Fultz in the Sturmpioniere. And we got the east side. He's going to go for it again. He's going to try and finish it off. He's going to finish what he began. Oh, TwistedTootsy, you absolute madman. He's doing it. He's doing it. I mean, these are essentially tank traps. And he's just locked up the entrance here to Momo4sho's base, making it much harder to push out there. I mean, it's not quite close for infantry, but vehicles going to make it hard time. Theoretically, lay down enough, he could probably close off to infantry as well. Ah, man. In the west, we got Sherman's half-track infantry there, engaging here at Momo4sho's front line, tearing into it with absolute reckless abandon. Sherman rolling here, taking several hits from like Kedner, but successfully pushing it back there. And there we go. Momo's not going to be going through here anytime soon. And there's a small gap here. I think infantry creep through maybe there as well. But again, no tanks will be able to get out of there. And if they do try to clear out, and that means firing at it, TwistedTootsy will not actually react in time. Several hits there on the Sherman. Need to fall back with it. And there you go. Momo can finally go for the command Panther Befehls Panzerwagen. Setting out for the fatherland. He's going to go there for the Sherman. Clearly, TwistedTootsy was not anticipating this. And with this, Momo4sho can turn the tables somewhat for once. Pops out of the crew there, of the Sherman, and loses it. I'd say that was a case of TwistedTootsy getting a bit overly enthusiastic there versus Momo4sho. Momo4sho sees a chance, and he seizes it with both sharp hands. But yeah, that's just amazing. Absolutely amazing. Half-tank hammering away there, mines being set off there, but the half-tank reaction, the Attrition taking losses as they fall back. Panther being fixed up. Definitely should be taken up after this though. As for TwistedTootsy, we got another half-tank. He's going to go for the bazooka bus again there, I think, to try and hunt down Momo's Panther. I mean, if the regiment sort of occupy the Panther in the front and then land the bazooka bus, say, behind the Panther, he could do a ton of damage to it that way. But it's going to be a bit risky, but it's not impossible. Popping in a vehicle crew there from the Sherman. Now it's suddenly an ace half-track. They've got to feel a bit of a demotion for the crew. I used to drive tanks, now I drive half-tracks. Man. They just get turned into a glorified bus driver. Mine goes off there. Good work. And there you go. The bazooka bus is mobile. Of course, it has to be careful around the academy and other things, because that bazooka bus is not going to take a lot of hits. But there you go, he's overdriving, hits the Panther, and then quickly zips away like greased lightning. Good old American bacon grease. Right from the 10, pushing back the Fultons here, TwistedTootsy continue to control the map here versus Momo4sho. 50 caliber up the way there for TwistedTootsy. And we get flares off. We got flares. There we go. Good hit on the half track on the bazooka bus. And there you go. Bazooka bus is down. Smoldering wreckage. Vessels down to just 2 men each. Now Momo just needs... Wait, did he lose the 76mm Sherman as well? He did, actually. Looks like TwistedTootsy might have gotten rather overconfident, a bit reckless. That actually gives Momo4sho a good chance to push back, as long as he takes up and shows more armor here in the long term than TwistedTootsy. There we go, we got the Shroud, the Amax step on the way. That's likely going to be a Shroud Panzer quarters here for Momo4sho on the first SS. Academy moving hit, going to sneak up, possibly try and catch the half track with a good volley. There he goes, expecting him. He's expecting him to move through here, and then he's going to destroy it. He's using the Panther there to lure it out, to flash it out like a hunting dog, and there he goes, straight into the ambush. Kenrev's almost got it, but no. Oh, he can attack here through the hedgerows, and he gets the half track, finally putting an end to the madness. Really good play there by Momo4sho. Really good play. TwistedTootsy got a lot of munitions. He could consider some BARs on his infantry, to be honest, or some more mines to catch up any armor. Because they're being exposed to double flamethrowers there. He's got 2 assault engineer squads out. Giving TwistedTootsy there some offensive punch on the ground. Plus, of course, the ability to lay down mines. Schwer Wehrmacht slippers ready to be set up for the Schwer Panzer quarters. But the front line might be a bit too volatile to do that right now. Oh, there you go, retreats. I think that's his time here to do his cue to set up the Schwer Panzer quarters. TwistedTootsy's not doing much in his base here. He's bleeding a lot of manpower all of a sudden from these engagements. I mean, he has a ton of infantry. A lot of it's sort of, shall we say, less impressive, that he's more easily bled out. Like, he's got a lot of re-echelons. So they're sending some manpower bleed there, which actually makes it harder for TwistedTootsy to go for any armor. Momo4sho in the meanwhile is just pushing it across the entire front. Here we got double flamethrower engineers moving up and engaging the full grenadiers. My god, Fritz, it's suddenly got very hot around here. I don't like this. Sturmpioneer there being swarmed by Lieutenant and the Major joining in there with his pistol. Sturmpioneers doing what they can, but ultimately they are simply overwhelmed by the sheer volume of firepower that TwistedTootsy can lay down. He's finally upgraded the rifle with BARs as well. Very good. Grenades all going off. He's trying to stall the assault, but it's not working out. And the 50 caliber there, which TwistedTootsy is going for, is putting a bit of an issue there for the Momo's infantry. Punted quarters going up there by the car fight. Assault engineers on assault engineers vehicle crews with their grease guns. They're engaging the full gunners there. They got 21 kills. Obviously, a lot of them weren't fighting as a tank, but even then, they probably got a few there on their own as well. Heading for the fuel point here. Fuel point man can soon go for another Sherman. He can go for the regular one now, but he's more likely, I think, to consider an 76 with Sherman, or he could consider Jackson here versus the Command Panther. More flares off from Momo4sho. Victory points wise. TwistedTootsy has a tiny lead over Momo4sho here. Tiny lead. And we got the Jackson that helped fight the Command Panther and probably any other armor that Momo4sho might consider using. That's just amazing still. Digging in by the center victory point. And we got an infantry half to go away there for Momo4sho. Looks like Momo4sho has decided to fight fire with fire and go for some slightly less conventional choices himself. But obviously nothing quite as unconventional what TwistedTootsy threw at Momo4sho. Juice being suppressed there, pushed away. Right from there finding out this is the full grenadiers, and we got, there we go, the infantry half drag out the Uhu from Momo4sho, which did not fight normally, by the way. They only came around, I think, 1945. Based on it to support night attacks, whether it be supporting special weapons of the Panther with the infrared sights on them as well, and then of course infantry with the infrared assault rifles. Little fun fact there. Sturm punch all up by the double assault engineer squads and the swarming vehicle crews as well. I mean, that's a lot of grease guns, by the way. That is a lot of grease guns. Which, while Porchetti is not very impressive, they're actually basically just more easy to make Thompsons. I mean, they pack the same 45 caliber round, which for a submachine gun round packs quite a punch. Jackson takes a good hit from the Panther. Veterans 1 takes a return hit here. In the west, we can just see that TwistedTootsy's men are just laying down a hailstorm of fire against the Momo4sho's pulse gunneries, almost wiping them out there with just a thunderous hail of lead. Rather than need to fall back, fast in the face of this machine and event in the east, troops moving about going here for the eastern fuel point. Grab the point here, nothing further going on. Pulsing out into the echelons, 50 caliber dealing with the full grenadiers. Veterans 1 is almost there. We'll have to see if he actually gets anything from the Shroud Punted Quarters. We got a Scot on the way for TwistedTootsy to now deal with the infantry and support problems there from Momo4sho. An interesting choice. I think maybe going for a regular Sherman, upgrade that, or go for the 76mm Sherman, but instead TwistedTootsy's aiming for the M8 Scot. Intending easily dealing with the folks up close, half to the distance to spot ahead here. Allowing him to just react better here to TwistedTootsy's movements against sort of predict them better. That at the same time, there will obviously still be blind spots. We can see here that TwistedTootsy is more than happy to find those blind spots and then turn them against Momo4sho. He's guarding the exit point here, though. Had he been a bit faster, he might be able to get up some armor piercing around here versus the infantry half track. Momo4sho back in the defensive despite some absolutely accelerating moments here versus TwistedTootsy. TwistedTootsy's once more just tightening the noose around Momo4sho's neck. Command Panther extending by 15 kills, a lot of infantry. Don't forget, Panther's machine guns are actually pretty good versus infantry, so you well utilize the Panther can actually do quite a bit versus infantry as well. But again, a lot of players neglect that, and generally pin mark machine guns for most tanks is also pretty decent, in fact. So a little fun fact there about tank machine guns, specifically the Panther's machine guns. And it also applies, of course, to the regular Panther, and both Wehrmacht and Oberkommando West. Don't underestimate the power of the machine guns, and try to position your tank to take the most advantage out of those machine guns. In fact, machine guns are usually, again, there for deal with infantry. In fact, they're the primary weapon for dealing with it, not the main gun, the high explosive rounds. In fact, you can sort of see, when there are complaints about certain weapon systems not widely used because they didn't have enough machine guns to deal with infantry. That's one way to easily tell the Stug was an assault gun and not a tank destroyer, because they kept adding more machine guns to the Stugs. Like several late war model Stugs would have 2 machine guns on it, one Crackshaw and then the one mounted on top. A lot of grenade assaults here though from Momo4sho to try and sort of bleed up the TwistedTootsy's infantry assault thing, and got so many grease guns. He's unleashing hell there against Momo4sho's infantry. Here we got Reasons finding out that's the Fultz guns. Not quite able to deal with that. I mean, they got a lot of bazookas, but the bazookas aren't amazing versus infantry. Scott the moving up support here, and there we go. Obliterates Port Otto. Got the Panther moving out. There you go. Jackson shoots as got team to hit on the west hit point's been secured. Momo4sho can soon go for a Panther 4 if he had the pop cap, but he could also just try and set up for the Panther. He's going to go for a Mechanized Regiment and try and set up for King Tiger if it becomes necessary. Pushing out, there you go, Janko Grand, there you go. Now the barrier is actually paying off there for TwistedTootsy, because Momo can't escape, he can't retract into the base with it. Oh, TwistedTootsy, you malevolent genius. There we go, more hits on the Command Panther. He retreats the rear slants though, because he's blitzing back there, yet he can't get through. And I imagine TwistedTootsy's just going, Scheiße, these American assholes. But he of course realizes he can still crush the Bocage, but he's like in this case, he had the Panther because the Panzer IV would have been dead. He would not be able to push through. The Panthers are heavy enough to push through these kinds of things. And obviously TwistedTootsy hasn't quite fought through, but still it required Momo4sho still to sort of realize it and then move through. So I mean, really these barriers are paying off, I think, to an extent for TwistedTootsy. At least just in sheer ballsiness. Mine spotted. Stop there. And he's going for the Panzer IV. He's not going to try and aim for a Panther. He's going for the Panzerkampfwagen 4. That's actually a pretty good idea there. He's using the 21 kill vehicle crew there. It's the one with, lots of experience to crew the Jackson. That way he can sort of get more experience in the Jackson fast. And this is a really good move. And again, it's actually something few American players do. That is, try to use the most efficient crew for the best type of vehicle on the time. So I mean, this is a really good move by TwistedTootsy. Also shows he's just actually been using these vehicle preservation, crew preservation pretty well, which is I would have to describe an exceedingly rare skill. It's not even something he debuts, and he's usually like the hallmark, like the benchmark for American players. So, I mean, to see someone actually go beyond that in terms of vehicle crew preservation is just, astounding. Panzer IV out there for. About to lose one vehicle crew there. There you go, good hit. Panther moving up again. Scott taking hits. And there you go. Note the Jackson with all this is now almost fetched into 3, which is really bad news for any arm. Bazooka hits landing, got some rounds there on the Panther. Got the Panther supported from the north direction, almost right. We got the Bazooka teams on the prowl. Gonna look for some crap tanks and fill them with holes. Panther there, very close to fetching 2 in itself though. Going in there. There we go. Jackson just narrowly misses the Panther. Bazooka Rock is just hammering away against the stone cover there, but it's not quite crumbling in the face of American determination and firepower. It refuses to yield to these inferior Yankees. Well, it's just rocks. Unit wiped here. It begins to bleed out for TwistedTootsy. Should probably to replacement. Some orbital down with assault rifles. They could probably help out there versus TwistedTootsy. Grenades going off. Harassment in the southeast. Very good move there by Momo4sho. Come on, Panther. Very close to Reggie 2. Definitely so far have to rate this as one of this year's best matches already. I mean, we're only going to do like, top somewhat of matches in a year. This was definitely going to be one of them. And this is just absolutely amazing. Command Panther, close to victory, 2 machine gun moving up. Grab the center victory point. Vehicle crews moving out as well. He's probably going to need the Panther, but he's keeping the Panther in the west to sort of safeguard against movements there. And we got orbital dart from Momo4sho, very good move there, very good. Push ahead here. Could go for some light vehicle support. A mortar after could lay down white phosphorus with just smoke screens there against some of Momo's positions. I suppose you could go for another bazooka bus. Need to be careful there with the Jackson now. 50 caliber stalling up the infantry as well, making it harder to move ahead as well and get some shots there off on the Command Panther. Orbital Darden about done there from Momo4sho and the 1st SS. Panzer Division Leibstandarte, and there we go. And he's going for the infrared Sturmgewehr, the Vampire sights as they were known. Involved carrying very large battery packs though for them. Setting out for the fatherland. Another Scot there for TwistedTootsy. Interesting. Not more anti-tank, but more anti-infantry. Flamethrowers, the opposite, and they just need to retreat before they get obliterated by the double flamethrowers. That'd be quite a lot for Momo4sho to lose them that fast. Jackson, we got a big push in the infantry half tick, of course, is spotting it all ahead. They're lying the Panther with 5 from a safe distance. The problem is, the way that TwistedTootsy moves infantry, they can actually sort of spot hit. They're screening it quite well. And go Panther, that's good in the Jackson though, but it itself is taking some nasty hits. Panther 4, the explosion, something you can see that TwistedTootsy sees an opportunity to maybe just fill it with as many holes as he can to move up. The Bazooka team's a swarm of rockets. He's storming against it like very angry bees with rockets in their behind. Command Panther up, vehicles there being suppressed, aggressively hit, troops being obliterated. Bartley fast Scott needs to fall back though, eventually too. And Command Panther heads out, bit of movement here on the west side, very good. Momo4sho, they're slowly trying to just push back TwistedTootsy instead of denying map control, which is, I think, a very good thing. I think Momo4sho really should consider Mechanized directly just for the repair pioneers, who doesn't have to expend as much micromanagement attention to repairing his tanks. I think they'll really do a lot there for Momo4sho. Heading for the victory points, the fuel and whatnot. Jackson being fixed up, Scott's being fixed up. There you go. Double Scott versus the foot. We got the cannon opening up already, almost taking out one hit. Pop smoke. Quick response there. Very sound response this one by TwistedTootsy. In the 1st Armored Division, we got the assault units moving up. We have both veteran 3 now. Momo there, briefly considering another machine gun, but decided against it. Orbison dealing with charging assault engineers. Grenade hit could be helpful. Getting more kills, very good, very good. We need to retreat now. Oh, they're about to get a wiped out. Momo, 9, they got scorched, incinerated. Oh, just burned away. That is quite costly there for Momo4sho, not exactly something that is cheap to replace. I will have to see if it does replace it or just decides it's not worth the bother. Victory points wise, Momo4sho is maintaining lead here with TwistedTootsy. Who's now back heading out the west side. Very good, very good. Exploring Momo4sho's essentially in the centre east to then hit the west. There we go. Fully about to get obliterated here by the double Scots. Oh, that was really close there for Momo. That was really close. And there we go. Another astounding hit here by the Scot. High explosive rounds just ending lives wherever they can see them. And Momo4sho ends up going here with another Panzer for another Panzerkampf Wagen 4. Good in one of the Scots. Oh, he got it, he got it. A small tactical victory there for Momo4sho's Panther going in here for the hits. And there we go, lands one in the Scot, lands one in the Scot. Second Panzer 4 halfway done. Another Scot here for TwistedTootsy, not more regular tanks, more artillery, and there we go, Panther following up here in the Jackson, Panther going in, misses though, misses. And we got a wall of bazooka teams moving in there to try and sort of push back Momo4sho's Panzerwaffe. Allowing the Jackson to operate more freely as well. There we go, and again we can see here the barriers are blocking movement here for Momo4sho. They are obfuscating pathing, and it's making these, giving ahead TwistedTootsy chance what not be just pursued. But like Kednaps and anything else, I think does prevent him from going in there. So still pretty close here, pretty close for Momo4sho again. He really needs to go for the Mechanized regiment though. And some repair parties. I really think they'd do Momo4sho a ton of good. The Westwaffen there getting hammered by the Schwerer Panzer quarters. Going for the center victory point. Well, TwistedTootsy is floating a ton of munitions. Grenades would be a good upgrade for him. And laying down a lot of mines. He's not mining up a lot anymore, which makes it much easier than Momo4sho just move ahead. I mean, there's not really anything that seriously slows him down, and that makes it easier for Momo to be aggressive versus TwistedTootsy. So, I definitely think TwistedTootsy, besides grenades and also upgrading his real crews, I mean, he could easily equip him with a bunch of BARs, additional bazookas. Should consider some other additional things here to just make it hard for Momo4sho to fight. But yeah. He should research grenades, and he should upgrade those vehicle crews with either BARs or bazookas, depending on what he wants. I mean, if he's just going to use them as infantry, he's better off just upgrading them so they can fight more efficiently. Swarm of firepower then being unleashed against the machine gun, and he wipes it, destroying the crew entirely. The Kedna this spot being pushed back. Going in with the Scots aggressive. We've got the Panther opening up. They could take out one of the Scots. Jackson moving in as well. Veteran Feast shoots, penetrates. Bazooka rockets flying. Fails to penetrate the Panther's frontal armor. Looks like no attempt at anything there for TwistedTootsy. Oh, is he going for the BARs and the vehicle crews? No. He isn't by the looks of it. Shame. Shame. And now Momo4sho has two Panther Forces up, plus the Command Panther. Can he do something with this Panzer Force? Will he just sort of flounder about with it? From getting hammered, Command Panther Forces, and there you go, landing a good hit with the Jackson. Nice hit from the Panther. Another nice hit. They're close to Veteran E3. Ooh, getting a bit bold over the Jackson. And almost losing it here. Panther Force going for it. Going for it. And the Scots down. An absolute crushing hit there to TwistedTootsy. Crushing hit. He's losing a lot of equipment very fast. And the Jackson goes down as well, losing him his ace vehicle crew as well there. A quite big loss there for TwistedTootsy. A big hole now exists in his force composition. Going for the half-track here. I'm not entirely sure the bazooka bus is going to be helpful here, but I'm guessing TwistedTootsy might just try to sort of stall here. Hoping he can somehow buy him some time and then sort of build up for some bigger armour. But he needs to be fast about this. He also needs to be clever about this, because the problem is he just charges in there blindly. He's just going to get shot to bits by the Panzers. If it is indeed a bazooka buzz he's planning. We shall see what it ends up with here for TwistedTootsy. And the 1st Armour Division. Oh, he's just moving in the infantry half-track. I think he just suicided, realising he doesn't actually need it. To free up resources for other things, like say another machine gun here to help deal with TwistedTootsy. Sheer mass of infantry. I mean, look at how much infantry this guy's got. 3 Western squads, 3 assault engineers, 2 field crews to be used in infantry, 2 Waffen lieutenant, and the major. Also surprising is upgrading the major with any such stuff, but none of the vehicle crews. It definitely feels weird there. Oh, devastating hit in the rear echelons. Almost. Oh, he actually did get a wipe there. Snuffed them out like a candle in a storm. Pearson's moving ahead here on fire from the Panther Force. There you go, a full bazooka wave. Almost taking out one of the Panther Force. Another racing squad there. Bites dust though. TwistedTootsy is taking heavy casualties now here from Momo4sho and all of his Panzerwaffe. 600 munitions. I definitely feel this could be a problem for TwistedTootsy. He's just using his resources very efficiently. But he's finally upgrading the vehicle crews this time with bazookas, and though again had he done that sooner he probably could have a lot more bazooka teams to take on the Panzer Force and the Panther. Mechanized ranking front here for Momo4sho. That's gotta be upgraded with the repair pioneers that repairs armored fleet. North we got Orbital and him and then D4 being surrounded by rifles with double BARs. They need to retreat soon. They just don't have enough firepower nor do they have any sort of real cover to utilise. Panzer Force shoots. Schwerer Wehrmacht Schlepper moving up. Panther there being fixed up. Very close to Veteran 3. And there you go, the bazooka bus makes a drive-by. Doesn't quite work out. I'm pretty sure it's pretty difficult to hit from a half-track at that speed. In fact, I'm pretty sure more likely the projectiles going out are going to be vomit than rockets. Mein Gott, Jürgen, die hit me! Oh God, don't worry. What is it? Sie früh ab und ab Panzer. Ah, scheiße. There we go, he's going for it again, but right in front of the Panzer IV. Panzer IV taking into the assault engineers. Looks like the tide has turned against TwistedTootsy. The tide seems to have turned. Panther IV moving ahead here. Command Panther close to 3 more bazooka fire there, just not really hitting anything. MU-34 fighting for the fuel there, victory points wise. It's assaulting against TwistedTootsy, reasonably fast there now. There you go, half-deck going for it again. Almost getting the Panzer IV there, but highly risking losing it. Oh no, he gets away, another drive-by attack. BAR drop though. Panzer IV, they're dealing with the assault engineers. Central victory upon security could booby trap it. There you go, sending in the Panther to take out the bazooka bus to put an end to it. Pops flares, but in this case can't quite hit through the hedgerows here, the bocage. And bazooka bus gains Veteran 3. Stuttgart would be there with the orbital done. Wouldn't be a bad choice, I think, there for Momo4sho. Running at the Panther IV strange, he's going to the base. He's going to crash infantry. There we go. Wipes it using the combat blitz to achieve just extermination. And there you go. The bazooka bus switches in. It goes in full speed. I mean, just look at how fast that is. I mentioned the feet with overdrive. Good God. That is fast, but not fast enough to miss the dodge the Panzer IV shots. He's just crazy though. Command Panther super close for you with 21 kills. 87 versus 301. TwistedTootsy is not giving up, at least not now. About to lose now their assault unit squad, in this case a heroic unit. Close. From getting obliterated with machine gun and Panther fire. There you go. Veteran your feet on the Panther. Oh dear. Rather than getting pummeled by Panzer fire, 60 victory points left here for TwistedTootsy, 60 points left. It is starting to very much look like GG. He's got plenty of fuel, he's got plenty of munitions, but the manpower is just bleeding him dry. Turning him into a husk. Bazooka Buster is still refusing to go down. Oh, he's close to getting the Command Panther. He's got a damage engine on it. Oh, good God. He's going to get the Command Panther with the Bazooka Bus. Holy hell. He actually did it. The madman did it. Ace Panzer IV, ready to avenge its commanding officer. And the Bazooka Bus is ready for one more ride, possibly straight into hell. Oh, dodged it, just dodged it. And he's going for another pass. Oh! Oh dear, half track down. And there you go, blows up. Spitting out dead Americans everywhere. And there you go, GG. Game over. Good God, that was one hell of a match. Lots of casualties as well. I mean, there's a really interesting strategy TwistedTootsy was operating with. I mean, it really had a lot of impact, a lot of momentum. I think one of the bigger issues was just he didn't quite use his resources efficiently in the fight went on. He didn't lay down no mines, no fighting positions. Also, not good at upgrading his troops. Definitely also considered grenades. Like, just so many resources being floated. I also never feel like the double Scots was a mistake. And then finally, just so much infantry just made it hard for him to use his resources further efficiently. I mean, he just struggled to use the manpower and more tanks to build up with like a sufficient force, so that would really hurt Momo4sho. Instead, he just had so much infantry, couldn't get enough armor out. And then on top of that, again, just didn't use his munitions efficiently otherwise, which gave Momo4sho the chance to push back and to slowly bleed out TwistedTootsy and also just hit him here and there. But there was a lot of interesting plays there with TwistedTootsy. The early truck, the bazooka buses, aggressive fighting positions, and all of that. It was just, I mean, in many ways, an absolutely amazing match, and just also shows you how amazingly you can play the Americans. I mean, that was really, in some cases, some high caliber play. Just again, sort of petered out, sort of mid to late game, because ultimately, sort of managed to paint himself into a corner force composition and resource wise, which rather was unfortunate. But really, he did some amazing work. Of course, Momo4sho also did, trying to fight back against it. I mean, he was certainly under some heavy challenge there, and really some credit there to Momo4sho for holding out against all of this. A lot of, I think, lesser players would have utterly crumbled beneath this motorized madness that TwistedTootsy just hurled at him. So, I mean, there you go, an absolutely action-packed, high adrenaline match. There was some absolutely out of this world fighting. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I hope you enjoyed casting. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment. And of course, also, if you're subscribing, press the little bell next to the subscribe button. Otherwise, YouTube's not going to tell you about it anyways, because YouTube's YouTube. And if you like what I do, you can support by pledging on Patreon or subscribing via YouTube. Links in the video description. This is Imperial Dane signing off. I'll be off for tomorrow. But you're all a wonderful audience, and I hope to see you again all tomorrow. Cheers!